Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is Ash Quest, and it's Tome Tuesday, which means it's time once again for us to delve into Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone's The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, a fighting fantasy gamebook in which we are the hero. And today we are going to continue the exploits of Sir Pan as he trespasses through Firetop Mountain, seeking out the evil Warlock. This Warlock, by the way, his name is Zagor. And Zagor is a recurring villain. Now, most of the fighting fantasy game books are one-shots. The vast majority of them are. They're not linked in such a way that allows you to play them as a campaign. But Zagor is a sort of a character that recurs in an ongoing saga, a sort of evil that reemerges for us to put down time and time again. I believe he is in 3 or 4 of these fighting fantasy books. And one of the books, Legend of Zagor, has its own board game interpretation. And I recently unboxed and presented an overview of the components of that board game right here on the channel. So if that's something that you would be interested in seeing, go check that out. I may remember to put a link to it in the description below, but it is a very interesting game and not the only game based on a fighting fantasy book. So look forward to that. I also wanted to point out that I finally did what I said I was going to do. I have redone my character sheet. This is the character sheet for Sir Pan of Cake. I have recorded his highest skill, stamina, and luck values, which are 12, 23, and 12. That is what we rolled when we created this character. His current values are 22 stamina. And for our items, we currently still have 8 out of our 10 meals, a sword, leather armor, a crescent shield, a lantern, a book, a Y-shaped stick I imagine will be for divining, a bronze key with 99 on it, 2 potions of strength, a potion of invisibility, and a map. We know the spell Dragonfire, and after tallying up all of the gold coins that I had in the last character sheet, I should have 67, a total of 67 gold coins. What are they for? I don't know. I really hope we'll find a sort of merchant at some point who will allow us to buy something. I don't know what. But it's time to continue our adventure, and we will do so from passage 398. So, just to reread what I did at the end of the last episode, you feel around the rock face at the end of the passage. One rock comes free and reveals a small knob with a handle on the end. Will you push it or pull it? I think that it might be safer to push the knob in. Not sure why, but I'll try that. We'll turn to 364. This book has a subtle sense of humor in the way that it routes you back to passages if you make a wrong decision. It's like, do you want to search the room? And you say you do, and it's like, you didn't find anything. Turn back. 364. As you push the knob, a small stone doorway slides open. You can either ignore it and return to the junction, or you can climb through. You must make your decision quickly, as the door shuts of its own accord in a minute's time. Oh. Well then, I only have a minute. Let's put a timer in the corner of the screen. What would pulling the knob have done? It's useless to ask that question. We ended up pushing it. What happens if we do ignore it and return to the junction? Will we be able to come back here and push the knob in again, or pull it? If we climb through and climb right into a trap, will that be the end of us? Sir Pan is not one who can stay out of these small stone doorways. He's going to climb into it. Stop the timer. We are going to climb through by turning to 373. Hurry, hurry, hurry. You are at the south end of a north-south passage at a dead end. If you go northward, you will reach a crossroads. Oh. In that case, let us go back to our map. Unless I got really lost on my map, I'm going to turn to 85. I think that this dungeon simply has ways of turning me around. And that was the instruction. If you go northwards, you will reach a crossroads. Oh, no. No, I'm at the south end of a north-south passageway. I'm in a new place right here. So I've gone through a door, a small stone door, by investigating this dead end. And that's really what I need to write down. Secret door. I see what happened. So I need to turn to 85, but then I'll explain it to anybody who might be as lost as I was just a second ago. Here, I was told that I was in a dead end, north side of a passageway, and if I could go west or north when I was here. But since I examined the door, I now find myself in on the south end of a north and south passageway. So the only thing to do is to travel northwards. So let's see how that works. We are at a crossroads. Oh boy. I can go north, south, east, or west. Now, whether or not this actually goes back to one of these other crossroads, I don't know. We actually have, at this point, at least 3 crossroads, not counting the one from before I climbed up these stairs after taking on the undeads in that room. So we could be at another crossroads. It does kind of seem like that's where we are, but as soon as I sense that I'm in one of these other ones, I'll change my map. I may have screwed something up. I really hope I didn't. To go north, turn to 106. To go south, 373. What happens if we go south? We'll be at the dead end. It will simply tell us that we're in the south side of a north and south passageway. We're going to go west and turn to 59. What a labyrinth. What an absolute labyrinth. You walk westwards for some time, then north, round a peculiar bend, which hairpins straight round to the south. Eventually, you wind up at a 3-way junction. Now that's interesting. Sometimes, then north, then hairpins south. This is my impression of this path. So now I do know that I'm not in this junction. I'm not in this junction. I'm not in any of the junctions that I was in before. Can't be now. So turn to 150, and then we'll see what this junction actually is. You are at a 3-way junction. You can go north, east, or south. Let's go east. We'll turn to 297. And we're really going to try to kind of keep our hand on the wall. I know Sir Pan really loves going west, but I have a bit of a feeling about this. This particular episode, there's going to be a lot of map drawing, I can tell, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with keeping a map, keeping a record, as long as it's a good map. You are in an east-west corridor with a T-junction at both ends. To go westwards, turn to 150. To go eastwards, turn to 256. I think I know what's about to happen here. Yes. Yes. You are at a junction where you may go north. Turn to 398, although this passage ends shortly in a dead end. That is what happened, friends. I know what happened. I found the other side of this passage. I found it. I actually came the long way around. Pardon my wounded thumb. Came back the long way around, and now I'm here again. I'm going to go west. I'm going to send Sir Pan south after this. So I will go west. We'll turn to 297. And we do have the option to travel back too and double back down some of the other paths and passageways. You are in an east-west corridor with a T-junction at both ends. I can go westwards or eastwards. So I'm still here in the center, and we'll continue to go westwards. We'll go back to 150. This labyrinth is very educational for me. I'm at a three-way junction. We were here before. This time we're going to go south by turning to 133. It's giving me a lot of ideas for how to incorporate a labyrinth in perhaps a game that I may wish to make. You are in a north-south corridor which ends in a dead end. You look around the rock face for signs of anything interesting, when suddenly a rock breaks loose above you and lands on your head. Ouch! Although the blow is not particularly hard, you find you are feeling dizzy. You fight to remain conscious, but are unable to do so. You slump to the ground. When you open your eyes, you are at a junction. Ugh! I can't believe it happened again. So, rock fall. At least we have completed this entire segment. Well, we've completed some scope of this map. We've got to turn to 52 now and figure out where we're going to be. The maze of Zagor is dangerous. You are standing at a T-junction, where a passage to the east comes off a north-south corridor. It's a T-junction. Passage to the east, okay. I can go south. I can check for secret passages on the way southwards. I can go north. I can check for secret passages on the way northwards, or I can go east. I don't know where I am on the map, so I'm just going to go south for now. I'm really glad my compass still works. I guess it's not really a compass. I guess Serpan just has, like, the ability to use the divining rod to understand where the cardinal directions are. 391 for our next passage. You are at the south end of a north-south corridor. Looking northwards, you can see a passage coming off from the east wall. Did I get brought all the way back here? Is that what happened? I can also go south, following a bend to the west. That matches this. That matches this. It's as if I ended up in this corridor. That's crazy. Somebody really dragged me all the way, or is this maze just magic? Is it a cursed maze? Let's test this with one more test by going south, following a bend to the west. I should end up in a dead end, if it's true that I'm where I think I am. You are in an east-west corridor. If you go east, you will turn a corner northwards. To go this way, turn to 391. To go west, turn to 60. I'll turn to 60, but I fully anticipate there being a dead end. You walk along the corridor only to find that the way westwards is blocked by a heavy portcullis. You walk back to where you were, turn to 48. Brilliant, I know where I am now. We are confirmed to be in this area. And now, I think what I'm going to do is head west again, and we'll go check out this area. We have the chance to do it, so let's do it. First, we'll have to head north. Now, I really apologize for how this has turned out. I can't imagine it's very fun watching me get lost in a maze. You are at the south end of a north-south corridor. Looking northwards, you can see a passage coming off from the east wall. Do you want to go up this passage? Actually, let's go ahead and do something a bit new. Let's go up this passage. We will turn to 52. We will turn to 52 and explore this new area instead of going back through the labyrinth. We can always return to this, maybe, but we'll find out. You are standing at a T-junction where a passage to the east comes off a north-south corridor. Okay, this is where I was before. This is where I was dragged to when I got knocked out by the falling rock. I can go south. I can check for secret passages on the way southwards. I think going south will bring me back to this bend. I think checking for secret passages on the way southward will simply bring me to this door. I can go north. I can check for secret passages on the way northwards, which I haven't done yet, or I can go east. This time I will go east, and I will turn to 291 to do so. Yes, you may be suffering from a bit of whiplash because of my decisions, but more than anything, this is going to culminate in the creation of a third map. You are standing in the middle of an east-west corridor. To the east is a dead end, which you can investigate by turning to 315. To the west is a familiar junction. Another passageway, quite a short one, leads off to the north and ends in a large wooden door. If you wish to try the door, turn to 227. Now, it's been a long time since I've explored a door. I think that I will. Now, they keep saying that's east, so I'm not really sure why I bent that upwards. We'll just say it's coming off the passage. They didn't call it a crossroads because this door is hidden, so it wouldn't look like a crossroads. It would look like an east passage coming off a north and south corridor. But this passage is just east-west, and it is said to end here at a dead end, unless I investigate. Do I kick down the door or do I investigate the passage? And then there is a short passageway leads off to the north and ends in the wooden door. So actually I do need to accommodate for that. Hopefully it looks like a wooden door. Now, we'll try the door and we'll turn to 227 to do so. It's been a while. Sure, Sir Pan is a bit lonely. Probably wants some company. Whether that means company to beat up or company to talk to, it's anyone's guess. And that was 227, right? Yes! Sitting around the room. A wooden table. Sitting in the room around a wooden table are 4 tiny men with weathered skin and long bushy beards. Look at them. Look at these absolute chads. Playing cards, having a smoke, having ale. We could write something in this smoky space above them to indicate stuff that they're saying or thinking. I would never do that though, not to this book. The door opens and you find yourself in a small, smoke-filled room. Sitting in the room around a wooden table are 4 tiny men, each about 1 meter tall. But all are apparently fully mature, with weathered skin and long bushy beards. They are cursing, laughing and joking as they play a card game. Each one is leaning back on his tiny chair, puffing a long clay pipe. On the table are a number of copper coins and 4 mugs of ale. As you walk in, their merriment stops. They are on their guard, but don't appear to be too dangerous. One stands up and makes some comment about your lack of manners, not knocking before you come in. The others nod in agreement. Oh my. We can chat to them and try to befriend them. We can apologize, bow, and leave the room. We can offer to join in their card game, or we can draw the sword and go for the leader. If you have already been in this room, you find it empty. Okay, so I recognize 291, and 2 of these options do go there. I don't want to apologize, bow, and leave the room. If I come back after doing so, it will be empty. So let's chat to them and try to befriend them. Let's turn to 131. Sir Pan is an easygoing fellow. He is not coming into this dungeon fully expecting everybody to be evil and bloodthirsty and undead. No, he believes that there are some people in this dungeon that are possibly good. Why they're here is anyone's guess. For example, why are these 4 tiny men here? Alright, 131. You chat about various things, and they seem eager to be friendly. They feel lonely in the dungeon with so much evil about, and are happy to speak to visitors of a lawful disposition. They tell you that you are in the maze of Zakor. I think we figured that out a long time ago. The only way out is to go deeper in the dungeon. They tell you that the way through the maze is to leave the room, turn right, left, keep going straight, and then they begin to get a bit vague. They're not entirely sure if it's correct. You may, if you wish, eat a meal from your provisions, but you'll have to share it with them, and this will only gain half the normal stamina points. Eventually you thank them and leave the room. Go to 291. Well, I'll tell you what. There is absolutely no practical or mechanical reason to do so. But Sir Pan, out of the kindness of his heart, out of his good-natured self, is going to consume a meal and is going to split it with them. After all, they were good company. This brings his stamina only up by 1 point. But his stamina is now full at 23. Did I lose a stamina point from the rock hitting my head? I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think I lost a stamina point. If I did, this would have healed that as well. So we're now at full stamina. We did eat a meal because we wanted to break bread with potential friends we met in the dungeon. They're going to be gone now. So we are going to 291, leaving the room. I honestly wonder what would have happened if I'd joined in another card game now. Here we go. 291, you're standing in the middle of an east-west corridor. This time, we are going to investigate the eastern dead end by turning to 315. Sir Pan wants to be sure. He wants to be very sure. The dead end appears to have no secret passages, but you can check by turning to 306. If you don't want to double check, turn to 291. Well, Sir Pan is very thorough, and he will double check. We didn't come all this way just to turn back. We didn't come all this way just to get cold feet. You still find no secret passageways, but coming towards you down the corridor, you can see a creature-like shape. To find out what is coming towards you, turn to 161 and prepare to fight. Oh no. If you kill the creature you encounter, you can go back along the corridor and turn to 291. Write down this number so you know where to return to. Well, 291 it is. We will, this time, just respect that it is going to be a dead end, but it's time to fight this wandering monster. So, 161. It's been forever, it seems, since Sir Pan has had to draw his blade. And just like the last wandering monster, which, by the way, this is a brilliant mechanic for a game book, we will roll for what kind of monster we encounter. Roll 1 die, consult the table below, and over to find out what has come to investigate. We rolled a 4 on our d6, and that is a giant rat with a skill of 5 and a stamina of 4. The giant rat has a skill of 5, a stamina of 4. Sir Pan, if he's careful, can take it out in 2 hits. Now, I've had a little bit of fun role-playing in another game, entirely unrelated to this. On my other channel, I played a video game that featured a mouse, and I decided, because the mouse was so chatly and I had rolled so well, and because the game system was very similar to the Warlock of Firetop mount to begin with, I decided this mouse, Felix, should previously have been known as Sir Cheese of Cake. And it is in this episode, I believe I'd like to pay homage to this giant rat. So instead of a gross rat, I don't think rats are gross, by the way, I love rats, a sort of anthropomorphic rat emerges, wielding a rapier and dressed in dungeon exploration clothes. And I think that we're about to have a misunderstanding. This mouse person, this rat on 2 legs, is going to attack instinctively Sir Pan with an attack roll that ends up being, oh wow, it's 12 plus 5, that's 17. This is a chatly mouse indeed. 17. Sir Pan is no pushover. And so, wait a minute. Yes, 12 plus 5 is 17. Serpan counters with a 12 plus 6, or plus 5 plus 3, and that exceeds the mouse. He counters this. He does so in a way that does not mortally wound his opponent. He simply deflects. He knocks the mouse back. It's shadowy, it's dark. Both are still kind of in a panic state, not sure how to approach the threat that they are facing. The mouse lunges again, this time with a total of 13. Now this is easily deflected by Serpan, who bops the mouse back, and they finally recognize one another. The mouse is Sir Cheese of Cake, dubbed the pet of Serpan. Serpan sends him along his way, warning him to be safe in his travels, knowing that the strong-spirited mouse character has what it takes to run if ever in the face of true danger, but has enough heart to explore the dungeon on his own. So the mouse character, if you'll forgive me a bit of role-playing here, I wanted to establish a little bit of lore for my character because I'd like to use this character, I think, in some other games. And so this was a bit of a run-in with his former pet / sparring partner, Sir Cheese of Cake. We've defeated the giant rat in the gamebook rules, though, and we are able now to turn back to 291 again. Now, that will be the only time I do that. But we do have some art for this occasion, actually, because of said video game with said mentioning of Serpan and kind of having fun with the lore of the character. So that will actually be the art included for the thumbnail of this video. Another thanks to 8 Pancakes for Lunch for providing that art. And it just so happens that I did face a giant rat. That was totally coincidental, something I didn't prepare for. But we are back, standing in the middle of an east-west corridor. And to the east is a dead end, of course. And to the west is a familiar junction. We are going to go back to the familiar junction. I don't know if I'll end up using this map again now. But here we go. Back to the familiar junction. This time, 52. And before we end this episode, I'm going back through the long hallway, currently standing at the T-junction where the passage to the east comes off a north-south corridor. Checking for passages on the way northwards by turning to 234, or actually, I guess I should technically be above the secret passage that I do know about. Check for secret passages on the way southward, turning to 362. And that will bring me here as you try the walls up the passageway. A secret door opens up along the west wall. Yes, turn to 177. I actually really like this maze mechanic a lot. It might seem tedious for some folks, maybe, but I like it because I'm following a maze that I made myself, so this feels like it's mine. It feels like it's my experience. You're standing in a north-south passage. To the north, you can see a passage up to the east. In the west wall in front of you is a secret door. To go through this, turn to 175, and I do. Standing in a narrow corridor. To go through the door, turn to 177, or walk to the crossroads, turn to 267. We're going to walk to the crossroads, turning to 267. And now we are at the crossroads. We've not explored the west or north parts of the crossroads here before. We're going to go west by turning to 79. Feels like I've turned to that page before, but probably not. The passageway ends in front of you in a dead end. If you wish to search for secret passageways, turn to 137. I kind of thought that would be the case, but I am going to search for secret passageways, and I kind of can see where this might be going. I think I might run into another wandering monster. Wait a minute. You find no secret passages, but as you press the wall, you hear a click. You feel dizzy and slump to the ground. When you come to, you do not recognize your surroundings. Oh no. Turn to 354. This is just wrong. Poor Sir Pan. He has been knocked unconscious so much, he's really paying off his sleep debt. You are standing at a bend in the passage where you may go either west or south. West or south? West or south? West or south? Do I have any of that marked down? And I can go west or I can go south. I don't have a passage that only goes west or south. I don't have a passage like that. What happens? What happens? Where are we? Where are we now? That, however, brave heroes, I'm afraid should be the end of this particular play. We are at time. I will say this has been a lot of running around. It's been a lot of exploring. It's been a little bit of fighting, but it was a lot of fun to roleplay Sir Pan's companion. Sorry about that bit if it was confusing or a bit immersion breaking at all. I can tell you, rest assured, won't happen again. And I think that we'll be done really backtracking and doing a lot of this maze stuff, at least with the parts of the maze that we're already familiar with. So this may have been a bit tedious of an episode, but I did have a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. And I will continue next week, now on Tome Tuesday, with Warlock of Firetop Mountain. The series has been very fun, very rewarding. If you like it, I hope that you'll tell others about the channel and about Tome Tuesday, and perhaps we can get more people interested in fighting fantasy and in game books in general. Thank you very much for watching. Comment anything you'd like down below. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.